Hello, everyone. Well, this is a new one for me. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Kimberly Willis. I've played checkers within the community for almost 27 years. I've met a lot of people around the world. I've also been, I would say, active in the community of checkers, trying to get children, young adults, and other people to play the game. We all, at one time in our lives, our family has sit down and played the game of checkers. Now, playing a game of checkers back then was the red and black board, the red and black checkers. As I found out over the years that there had also been a change to that because people didn't know any better that black and red board and black and red checkers wasn't, you know, it was just they thought was a child's game. Well, fear not, I found in the community that I had went online and back in the late 80s had actually seen that there was a different color. The boards were lime green, a cream colored white, which I will show you. Let's see if I can get this up. This is what the board looks like, which to me seems that you actually can actually see where your checkers are going to go. The red and black checkers are not right. Your checkers are usually soft gender pieces, red and white, which it's fair to say that when you actually look at it, you're looking at this board and you set a red checker. I'm trying to get this for you guys. Sorry. Try to get this checker here. You can see it. But if you put a black on black, you can't see it. And the same for the white. Now you're wondering why this one has numbers on it. I'm going to give you a smaller board because that's the way it'll probably be better. Let's put this up here for you. Numbers. How to set those up? Very, no one knew at that time that you had numbers. So let's first off on the board. Let's where what is the numbers for? Let's say your red checkers. So always when you set up your board, your double corner will be. You can hear me, Dennis? No. Dennis, you can't hear me? Let me see if I can change that. Hold on, Dennis. I'm fixing it. Can you hear me now, Dennis? Well, that'll have to change on the next one, okay? I'll get me a microphone and sing or something. But thank you. Do you think I should get a little closer? In other words, well, this is a start, so we hopefully will be able to get the microphone. Let me see if I can. I have to work on the sound. So, as I was saying, Dennis, I appreciate it, and thank you for coming, honey. So, when I'm talking about your boards, a lot of people doesn't know that how to set up your board. And I like to tell people that the double pointer will always be on your right. Your single pointer will always be on your left. So when you count, you count right to left. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to the right, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to the end of 32. Red will always be on your lower, will always be on your lower numbers, and your white will be on your larger numbers. We also have 2 in the middle that's not used. I call that kind of like a train track because you're pushing forward. So you're actually going straight forward. In chess, they have millions and billions, of ways of moves. You got your each one has a certain specific move. But checkers, there's only way to go, and that's forward. So I like to tell everybody, there's rules too of this. And over the years, I've had many people tell me that they knew how to play, they knew the rules, they knew all that, and then when you play them, you have to jump. Well, yes, you have to jump. If you're forced to jump, you have to jump. You capture your opponent's checker. And pretty much over the years, I learned that there was games out there that we all didn't know. For one, books, and back then there was no live stream. There was no way possible that you could uh, know all the moves. And then books came out with them, and they're telling you this is the old 14. That was the first game I ever won or learned how to play. I did use it and win, but I mean, for me, it was like it's like the sign of checkers. Now, I know that there's a lot. I've met many, many people from all over the world, and I've found that there has been not just the American regular checkers, but there's different games out there, like the 10 by 10, which is 100 square board. They can go backwards. They can we do weird things. Lion King. You've got pool checkers. You've got Italian checkers. You've got all these games out there that are related to the same game as checkers. We also have, people from all over the world that they okay, okay, honey. But I also see that Italian checkers. We've got Pakistan. We've got Ukraine players. We've got people from every state, and I've watched every state come up with, state tournaments and nationals. I mean, world games, and then you watch chess. You see them have their world championship chess players head to head. Well, that happens in checkers too, but not too many people know about that. Hello there, Ryan. How are you, my friend? My microphone is not very good. So my husband is telling me we need a new computer. The time was different, Ryan. It was PST time. That's why I changed everything because I go, oh, that's not right. You would have been here at night. But so within the game of checkers and rules. A lot of people, the rules of checkers are very simple. If you're forced to jump, you have to jump. And some are just single jumps, some are double. Well, hello there. How are you? I think that's Richard. That's you, Richard. But I welcome you all. So my concern, WCDF, you've seen the picture up there. Let me explain something. Through the years, I think it was in 1974, there was a gentleman named Charles Walker in Petal, Mississippi. He had built, or I guess this place that he had was something that he made into the Checker Hall of Fame. Many, many, many. Hello, Sir Joe. Welcome. And through the years, he actually represented the checker community. He went from all over the world, and he absolutely became, an icon in my eyes to bring all of the top, like Marion Tinsley, Alex Mosier, uh, Ron Zuki King, players down to play in this Hall of Fame. He's also had the world title matches for many, many years, and he was such a good friend and a good advocate. Hello, Alex. But we have to step back and we have to think, what does global world of checkers mean? What does it mean? I don't think it's one, it's not America, it's not Canada. Global is the world of checkers. World. That means it doesn't matter, you're not, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, how young you are. If you've done something like play a game of checkers, be that person that comes out from wherever you're from and you play checkers. It's for every person. People sit back and they say, well, it's just a kid's game. I said, no. Um, we all have to take part and teach people what is checkers. Checkers is probably one of the oldest games as well as chess, 3,000 years old or older. And they didn't have boards or checker pieces. They had probably what I call make your own bottle cap. I've seen it, bottle cap. I've seen rocks. I've seen it on paper. I've seen it on made on just a piece of wood. I've seen it on gravel or sand or dirt. But we all have to contribute something. And if you're a player that wants to, like, let's say you want to come to the United States and play in a tournament, you have to use brainstorm, be able to sit back and stick it out. You have to have a visa for one. You have to have a passport. You have to have a flight ticket. And people say, well, I don't know how to do all that. Well, then you brainstorm. How do you get if you're working or it's not a workable person that doesn't have a job and there's no job there, then you have to come up with how do I get the finances? This is how I hope that I can help. If it's just one person, not, I mean, one person out of this, then I think it would be worth doing this podcast, a broadcast of my thinking of checkers. I'm always going to be an advocate for checkers. I'm always going to be there for that person that needs information. I'm going to have to be the one that, if you don't know it, ask me and I'll give you the best that I can give you, or I'll find out, because we all need to help one another in some way. Now we have online, we got the YouTube channel. We do have, like, we have Ryan AZ Checkers. He does fabulous, fabulous on how to analyze games, which I love to watch. But if you go searching, and if you can't find it, then you need to write it down and bring it in and give a question, ask a question. Don't sit back and not say nothing, because that won't get you an answer. And the knowledge is there, and I'm sure someone would say something. And as for me, I've played checkers a long time. I love the game. I love uh, going and seeing people. You're welcome, Ryan. Because if we can do just one thing for one person, who knows? Maybe we can help each other, and maybe we can have our community of checkers grow, and we can establish a strong community once again. Now, as for Mr. Ryan, he isn't on very long, and very much, and I appreciate him coming in. And Sergio, Sergio Scarpetta, let me say, is a world champion. He holds that world champion. I've met him. He's a very nice young man. See, a lot of people don't know there's champions, there's world champions, and there's things like that. So we got Sergio, we got Mateo, they're both Italian. They hold both. We got Alex Mosier, he's 11-man ballot, and so that's 11. But we have people out there that, how do you get the word out and the community out to where we can actually have more than just a small community? We need to have more of the voice going out and actually talking. Go to the park, set a checkerboard down, tell a friend, take a friend, take a friend to a tournament if you don't, if and see if they like it. It never stops. There's this, to actually say that, like, checkers is, so easy, and it's all been solved, and there's no way you need to play it anymore because it's been solved. What's been solved? Some games have 2,300 moves. There's games that I have looked at and never knew that there were even words. So this channel is probably, I want to say, the contents and the subjects each Sunday at this time. I will be probably putting out the rules, notation, if there's time control. Uh, See, I can go on and on, but, and then, like, books, um, show people. There's a book called Tricks, Traps, and Shots. Very, very good book. But I mean, we can sit here and talk about all of these subjects. But like this is my introduction. It really is. It's an introduction, and I hope that many people will actually stop and come listen, watch, interact, because I may not know the answer, but I'm sure maybe Ryan does, Sergio, Richard, all these people that I know, maybe, will know an answer to a question. But this channel is specifically for checker players, new, old, no age, no racial, no, I don't care. We're all God's children. And I think that this is going to be the channel that we put together, all of us, and we sit back and we help each other or help someone to maybe they will join our community, and we'll be able to actually help each other learn something new. Now, how many of you over here? Let's see. I got Richard, Sergio. I think I got my husband here. I got Alex. And all of you, pass the word around. Get them to come in, and each week we'll have a subject, and we'll have a 30-minute subject. It may go longer, may not, whatever. It's just the time of doing it. This time, taking time out for each other. This little bitty game called checkers, which you betcha every day there's always something new to learn. The game to me is never ending. The books that come out are never ending. Alex Nozia, he wrote the six, that was his thing. But the subjects of one game can go years. It's been talking about some years. Like your one you did the other night, Ryan. That game. What year was it? 70? Yeah, 70. What do you, in the year, it's 2025. There's never a dull moment within this. We have, the books to show us the games, but through the years, they came up with, they found another, oh, wait a minute, if I move here, you're learning that there's always another move or another way of changing. 1949 was the first play. Then it was analyzed. Was that Hillman used that 70 in 1971, and it was published in 1983. So it's non-ending. That was the main thing. Is we have to. We'll go over some books. I think the one book I find that a lot of people is the Lee's Guide. I mean, I think that's the easy me to be able to learn a game. It also has a variation. The basic learning of one game can steer off into a mini game. So, would anybody like to ask a question, or are we sleepy like the tennis? Well, this is my 30-minute Hall of Fame. I thank everyone that came, and I hope that everyone comes back next week. And next week we will go over. I will bring out the rules, the regulations. I mean, regular rules, just the main rules, not tournament rules, not anything like that. But I mean, just the rules of playing checkers, just the rules of how to play. And then we'll go on. We'll show the setting up of the board. We'll show how to notate, and we'll show you the books and stuff that we can actually learn by. And then we'll try to analyze. And I'm not a master player like Ryan or Sergio. I'm just a regular old checker player. But we will be going over some of the past years and go forward and be able to sit back, and maybe we will find ourselves a new way to get information on how to communicate with other countries, with other players, the ones that are unfortunate they can't travel, they can't get over here. But we can help by giving them information and maybe help them to better their game. I want to thank you all for coming. But I appreciate you all. Ryan, thank you. Alex, or Joe, I thank you all for stopping by. I'll see you next Sunday at the same time at 5 p.m. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Bye bye.